Buddy, and welcome to Lucky Block. I'm still kind of sick, if you cannot tell by my voice, but I'm feeling good enough to play finally. So, we're back in business. Lucky Block is fun. This to me is like Sky Wars, but even less competitive. And that's just fun. Oh, forgot they had that. Not gonna lie. You're good, buddy. Did nothing spawn from that? That's weird. Okay. I guess I have that now. I have a whopping 0 blocks except for soul sand to build with. You love to see it. Oh. Alright. Bruh. It did not fire. You love to see it. Anyway. How's everyone's day? Hopefully your day is going well. Thank you again for all the support on the videos. You know what? I know what I need to, I'm probably going to talk about this at some point on this channel again, absolutely. But I'm going to complain a little bit about, math. Does anyone like math? I'm sorry if you do. See, I'm not a math person. But I'm like in the worst scenario where I'm good enough to do the math, I just hate it. And that, it sucks. Because I'm not a math person. And I will never be. Because I hate it too much to be one. Sick. I cannot hit him for the life of me. There we go. But since I'm not a math person, doing math and being able to do it and just not having the will, I don't think people understand that. Because I don't want to do it. And I get, what? Wrong game. I just need to eat the beef, actually. Hmm. He has a bow. Sick. Anyway, moving on with my math rant. So, I'm young. That's the best way to put it. So I'm still having to take math classes, but I don't have one right now. So, I have taken 3 so far. I need 4. Taken Math 1 when I was in um, middle school. What? I took Math 1 when I was in middle school still. So you might think, oh, that means that you're really smart. No. It just means that I was able to do the work. And then I took Math 2 as a freshman. And I chose not to take honors Math 2 as a freshman. Because I didn't think I was smart enough to. And I still don't think I was. But it was really awkward because everyone in that room was like older than me. Pretty significantly. And so I just kind of... I was the really young person in the class. It was weird. A frozen shot bow. That seems cool. What made it even like worse is that I had this teacher and she was like really nice and in math too, and it made me feel bad because whenever I'd mess up I just kind of feel bad. I wasn't really mad and I didn't really care, but she was like nice to the point where it was like, okay, well, you know, like, have you ever just like had that teacher where it's like I'd feel bad if I like did bad? Because that was basically like that teacher. Don't care. I think my favorite math though was probably Math 3. Not because it was good or easy. It was just again because of the teacher. Because for Math 3 I had a teacher who I will call Mr. T, and he was just funny. That's the best way to explain Mr. T. He didn't really care. Well, he did care, definitely. But he never would get mad at you. And I think that was just kind of like, fair. Like, he was just as sick as everyone else about the math that he was having to teach. Like, he would just straight up say, like, he would mention how other courses were more useful. And he could teach the other courses too, so we'd learn just random things every now and then about history or literature that he says was more important. And I'm like, dang. This is like one of the best weapons, and like, yo, demon. Yeah, good, it's dead. But it was really funny. And he also could speak Greek, which he's not Greek, he's American. I'm American. He just knew Greek. So every now and then, he would just kind of try to teach a lesson in Greek and see, like, if we could kind of get it. That worked. That really should not have worked. I won't say that I can understand Greek because of him, but I could make out a word, maybe. I couldn't say it. He would just like point to something and say it, and I would be like, "Are you saying this?" And he just nod, and I was like, "Okay." But he was very chill, and that's why I liked it. And he actually could like teach it, cause like I understood math 3. I think everyone in that math actually understood it. Like he could just proper teach, so no one really had a problem with him. He was like one of those teachers where like if like a principal walked in, the entire room would suddenly act like they were all like learning, when you know good and well maybe 3 of us took notes, and I was one of the 3 because I'm a loser. But it's okay. Oh no. Did it jump at me? Leave me alone. Oh, okay. Hmm. What was I about to say? I don't know. I had more to this story. Uh, oh. So, I don't know. I'm assuming not everyone that watches this will be American. And I don't know if this is a global thing or not. So, I know this is at least a US thing. We have this thing called an ACT, an EOG, ACT, SAT, EOG, and then state tests. So EOGs are just basically anything before high school exams. Like your final exam, that's an EOG in middle school. And it's assigned by the state, but it's not, it's just end of course, not anything crazy. But ACT and SATs are like college, like checks, essentially. Like colleges will use that to try to determine how smart they think you are in certain subjects, which for some reason they don't have geography or history as subjects on either the SAT or ACT. I'm sorry, I'm not teaming with you, sir. I keep missing that. But because of that, I think that's one of the reasons why Americans are like often like bullied in a way for their. Oh, that killed me. I thought that was one of the. But I think that's why Americans aren't called like dumb by Europeans and all that garbage, where they'll like say like you don't know where blank is, and I'm like, yeah, and probably not every American does. Not every European knows either. It's not my fault that America is like the size of Europe, essentially, minus Russia. Like Europeans, I've heard people like argue Americans don't travel and Europeans do, and it's like, well, yeah, Like, what? Where is there to go? Mexico or Canada? That's the only places you can go by land. You wanna take a plane to another continent, maybe? Outside of like Mexico, Canada, you could go to Greenland, the Bahamas. Like, there's not a whole lot of places in North America you can really go to. It's more so you just go to the other states. I think even Europeans, like, they know that there's like state stereotypes kind of, because they know there's country Americans and they know there's Yanks, as they call them, I think. Or at least that's how Southerners refer to Northerners, is a Yank. But I don't really, I don't know. I think that comes from Yankee Doodle. I'm just assuming. If that's like a not the correct term, I'm sorry. And tell me. But like Northerners call Southerners. There's a lot of Southern names. There's hillbilly. There's rednecks. Those are the two big ones. And as a Southerner, kinda, North Carolina. So there's opinions on how Southern that is, but I'd say Southern. But I'd say a hillbilly is when you get to South Carolina and below, and a redneck is different. A redneck is just a country person, not necessarily a southern one. It can be anywhere. It's weird to see them when they're not in the South, but they can be anywhere. Uh, do I not have blocks? No. Great. But like you have, I think America has just so many places that you could really go. Because if you go on either coast, it's very different than the other. And I don't know if that's like always a thing. Like even in Europe, if like the UK, there's like a split between the like east and west UK coasts. But you can tell there is in America. Mainly because it's like 3 time zones away from each other. So, instantly I think that's going to cause a pretty large discrepancy, if I had to guess. Just throwing out the idea there. Someone hitting me? Oh, someone's definitely hitting me. Oh, I have a regen one. Sick. Uh, what's a good? Oh, ow. If I had to recommend a foreigner the U.S., what states would I recommend them? Well, for starters, North Carolina, but that's bias. So, other than that one, or South Carolina, because South Carolina is just a slightly worse North Carolina with significantly less road infrastructure, but they're okay other than that. Well, they're kind of racist, a bit more. But that's only when you get to like the Georgia area. Like the second you get to like I I think a good way of determining how racist a southern state is actually is just how close they are to um, Mississippi and Arkansas. And it really depends on a couple factors because there's some exceptions to that rule. Like Texas and Florida, they're not necessarily always southern. They kind of just do their own thing, but they're still in the club. So they get to do though what they want. We don't really care. What does this apple do? Oh, night vision. What does... Is that just night vision or is it random effects? Speed. For like 3 seconds. Strength. Water breathing. And... Speed again. Sick. Where's the last guy? I don't see him. I don't know if I can use both of these, but that's cool to have. What? I saw him like crazy? Oh, he's up there. Oh, okay. See, I knew I saw him when I went into F3, I just didn't know where. Okay, bud. I'm just gonna... Sick. Anyway. But yeah, there's a... I like how this has just turned into Southern States Explain. I'm gonna briefly explain Southern States as a Southerner. So you have Virginia, and they're Southern still, but sometimes they don't want to admit it, and other times we don't want to admit it, and it really depends on what the conversation topic is. But they are. They're like the one that no one. It's like the cousin that you have that nobody dislikes, but no one really wants them to be there. They're just kind of allowed. Like it's a family understanding that they're allowed. They just they don't quite fit in always, but it's okay. Now, North and South Carolina, it's like that older brother, younger brother, where the younger one is South Carolina, and they are just always looking to stir up something. Um, nice. And so that's the best way to explain it, where we just have to deal with whatever they say because we know we'll get grouped in. And realistically, there's a lot of differences, except there isn't at the same time. And it really sucks because we're different enough to where we matter more in some stuff, like the elections and stuff, where we get more coverage because we accept that we can actually vote differently depending on the year and that we aren't tied to a party. And they hate it because that means that we might not always vote the way they do. And I'm not going to talk about this upcoming election because A, I'm, spoiler alert, I'm not even 18. I can't vote. And I'm informed well on history, and I'm informed well on some other subjects. I don't know if politics, though, is something that people want me to talk about, and I don't think I want to talk about it, so we're not going to talk about it. Do we all agree? Great. Now then, Tennessee, it's like that third child that's often forgotten, but they are like the other brother of the Carolinas. I will give it to them. We appreciate you, Tennessee, because they're similar to South Carolina, where I do feel a sibling rivalry whenever I go to Tennessee and watch any team play a sport, because I'm not necessarily rooting against them unless they're playing North or South Carolina. Then all bets are off. But I think that's fair. Well, that worked out well for me. Again, Texas and Florida, they're like allowed in the meeting, but they're not Southern. They've kind of became too big to really be completely Southern now. But it's okay, because we still tolerate them, at least in the Southern sense. Not in other senses normally. But it's okay. They're still let in the family. We haven't removed them quite yet. Now, Arkansas, I have a personal rivalry with them, because there's a stereotype that they're racist. And it's not really wrong. It's not always right. I'll say that. I think everyone can agree that. Not every person that is born in Arkansas is racist. I think that's a crazy assumption to make. But, I'd say it's a solid more than it should be. And I'll leave it at that. Oh, sick. That's funny. That's funny too. Oh no. Can I use the other one? I can. Sick. Oh, another one. Oh, person. I'm sorry, dog. I don't want to do this. I'm sorry, dog. Oh, okay, it teleported. Good. I was gonna do it for once. I never like doing it. But sometimes sacrifices need to be made. Who else are southern? Louisiana. They're cool. They're chill. I've not been there a lot, but they seem fine. I don't really mind them. I don't think many mind them. Um, what about uh I don't know if I'd consider Oklahoma truly southern. I don't know. I'd consider them southern, but I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't in the South. But they get the pass from me. Um, hmm. Does that work? Not in the way I wanted it to. No. Again, not in the way. I don't know why I thought that would work, actually. Uh, what other. Am I missing anyone? Georgia's fine. I don't really mind them. They just kind of talk about college football and peaches, and that's fine. Although I will say there's a big difference in Atlanta and Savannah, because I've been to those two cities, and they're both very nice, in my opinion. Very crowded, but nice. They look nice. They look pretty, at least at night. And I've only ever been there for like a day at a time, so they're fine by me. Atlanta does have the Braves, though, and the Braves are like the South's team in baseball. Ask any Southern dad over the age of like 20, and they'll probably know more about the Braves than I think they should. And they'll barely know anything about baseball, but they'll know stuff about the Braves. Because outside of Texas and Florida, there's only one Southern team in the MLB, and it happened to be in Atlanta. So, as a North Carolina person, please put one in Raleigh or Charlotte. Durham. I'll take Durham. Put the Durham Bulls up there. Sure. See, no one outside of North Carolina knows about the Durham Bulls. That's how you know I actually am from North Carolina. Because I have a problem. That worked. Are you aggro to me? No. See, this is annoying. I want you to come down and fight me. I feel like I'm missing a southern state. Am I missing a southern? I talked about the Carolinas, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia. Oh, Alabama and Mississippi. So Mississippi, again, weird amount of people with not nice things to say about other people that are not of the same. They're racist. A lot of them are racist. I don't like Mississippi much. It's a personal thing. I'm sorry. Alabama. Honestly, I don't think they're. I think they're less racist at this point, and more so just they're the haha funny incest state. And then also, outside of that, it's just haha funny incest state. Roll Tide. That's their personality now. And as someone who's not from Alabama, I think it's funny. So, what does it mean, boomerang block? Oh, oh, I get it. Oh, oh, great. So, okay. Well, that's fun. When I try to go on the attack, I get beat. Oh, this is a 34-minute long video. I should have just live streamed at this point, but it's okay. Win or lose this match, we'll call it a video. Um, well, I've just talked about the South, and math. We got on the topic of MLB. Do y'all want to hear more MLB stuff? I know all the Southern teams, and my favorite team is not from the South. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. So, you know, I'm not popular. I kind of just like Canada a lot. That's my only real reason. I don't watch baseball actively. I do watch NBA and NFL a good bit. And I like the Raptors in the NBA and the Buffalo Bills. Go Josh Allen, go Scotty Barnes. Oh, snap. It's an idiot. I thought someone was going to hit me when I said that. That was a regen potion, buddy. Oh, snap. There's a third party. Well, that's fine. We'll call it a video here before I continue ranting about the South and sports and stuff. I'm sorry for stereotyping, I will say that. Because I did stereotype a lot of the southern states. But also, this is not a long, in-depth live stream. And I'm a stupid 16-year-old. So, don't get mad at me. And also, my opinions change very quickly. Anyways, bye guys. See you next time. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.